Enfield North is on the borders of the M25 and North London. It's used to be called one of the bellwether seats. Whichever way Enfield North voted at a general election normally formed the government. Obviously this time round it voted Conservative by, I was fortunate enough to be returned as the MP, but we got a coalition government. You have what was essentially a market town village. And actually, as you drift to the east and the southeast, we actually have the old industrial area where things like the first Belling cooker were made, the first colour TV was produced there. And of course, you had the Enfield Arms Factory and the Lee Enfield rifle produced there many years ago. That manufacturing base is not there. There is service industry in an industrial area, and actually quite challenging some of our wards, which are some of the most economically deprived wards, actually not just in London, but one of them is one of the most challenged across Europe standards. The issues that we are facing now are considerably different to the issues we faced in 2010. Obviously, we had the last great recession that we were coming through, and unemployment was a massive challenge. We've almost halved unemployment generally across the constituency, likewise with youth unemployment. Nevertheless, we are still fractionally above the national average, and there is much more to do. So bringing new businesses and new jobs and continuing the economic growth is fundamental to what we do here. Before the general election, I knocked on a constituent's door, or a future constituent's door, Godwin Lawson, who basically took advantage of my visit to tell me how knife crime had ruined her life and cost her her son's life in a senseless attack. And she almost pinned me to the wall and said, "You've got to do something when you get into Parliament. You've got to make a difference, and this is an issue that is troubling us in North London."
Godwin Lawson Foundation was founded in 2010, and the purpose of the foundation was in memory of Godwin Lawson, to celebrate Godwin's life, who unfortunately was fatally stabbed to death in 2010. The aims of the foundation is to reduce youth violence, to raise an awareness of the consequences of knife crime, to actually encourage young people to choose better pathways in life, and to work with other organisations to raise more awareness of knife crime in London. We decided as a foundation to really use sports as a vehicle to promote all our projects, because Godwin was so much into sports. He was actually at Oxford United Academy at the time that he was fatally stabbed. And as a mum, I know the benefits that sports actually contributed to his lifestyle. We decided to use sports, and we did local tournaments initially, and then luckily we had Tottenham Hotspurs were quite interested in the project, using sports, especially football, as a medium to actually break down barriers. So they decided to look at our project and see how best we could work with them and how best they could support the foundation. The more I talked to young people, the more I decided, how could we make sure that we channel all this negative energy into a positive one? And peace ambassadors is what came up, is if we could actually devise a project or a program to train young people, especially young people who are more sceptical to join gangs, to train them and really empower them to be peace ambassadors in their community, rather than joining gangs.
We have much more to do in the next 5 years in terms of securing the growth and prospects and jobs in this area. We are, at the end of the day, coming out of a financially difficult period, but there is still much more to be done. And I want to become the #1 salesman of Enfield, to help continue to build on the companies that I've helped bring here and help them employ local people. But also I'm conscious that we have a massive housing problem. There's no question across London this is what is emerging. And what is frustrating me is that we have many brownfield sites here in Enfield that can be developed into housing developments to create more housing, which will allow more affordable housing and ease the supply problem. Frankly, it's not good enough that it is taking in some cases years to get people building these houses, and that is going to be a priority of a second term should I be lucky enough to get it.